kind of some chip.
Hey. Oh goodness. This is my first time streaming, so I'm a little nervous, but gonna give it a little bit more time because not quite on the dot yet from when I said I'd start. I'll give a little preamble about this run and the circumstances around it. Goodness. I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right feed here to see like who's in chat and etc. Gosh, very nervous, but should be a good E4. Hey, hi Nintendo. How are you doing? Still feeling under the weather? Thank you. Good. I've actually been looking at finding a line for your cycling road rival. It is looking tough. But with some good luck, I think you could do it. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I'm glad. I'm assuming you're out of the ER now, but so I'm glad you're healthy enough to be back home, hopefully. Goodness. Okay, good. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, you just do not have an Indeedee lead. All right. I think that's going to be enough time for me, so stop delaying. Okay. So my name's Hannah. I'm going to be doing my E4 today. These are the 6 mons that I am bringing. Got this really sick Premierina. It's been so good the entire run. Actually carried my ass. This is naturally naive nature, so it's going to do some cool plus speed Premierina things for the T4. Naughty Sneasler, also natural, just caught. Nearly max attack, which is crazy. This guy was huge, like one of the biggest carries of the run once I got it. This was not naturally adamant. It was naturally calm, which was terrible. I needed to scale this to adamant. But 31 attack, 31 speed, not much to complain about there. Thunderous. I had to use literally every single one of my roaming encounters to find this guy. It was what I needed for the E4, basically. My other roamer that I'll show you later, I got immediately, but I'm not ending up bringing it despite it being very good because it just doesn't fill a needed role on my team. And next, Engineer the Hydreigon. This is naturally naughty. I think this is all natural. I do believe, yeah, this is from Game Corner. 100% natural IVs. So yeah, this guy was absolutely cracked. Saved my ass many times on Magma Hideout for sure. And last, not a unique bring, but I still think he's very cool. Seismologist the Camerupt. Brave nature, high attack, just really solid guy. Haven't used him too much in the run, but he's going to make a huge impact in this E4. All right, so now going to be looking at my prep just a little bit because there's quite a lot of things I need to fix. Oh, hello, Molly. Molly, I'm unsure. Thank you. All right, so things that I need to change. Fair. All right. First of all, the most modifiable Pokemon that is going to be in this E4 is definitely the Primarina. It is changing moves a lot. It's doing the most in this E4 by far. So first thing I'm going to be doing... Can I change IVs here? Is that a thing I can do? Or does it need to be in another mart? They really don't have a way to change IVs and etc. here. That is silly. All right, I suppose I'm going to a different town. All right. Oh, right, and it's Annabelle. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is I am going to be using one scale to maximize Clown's speed. This is necessary to do several high-speed things that this Grim wants to do, most notably on Sydney, but also in a few other places. Oh, and also, by the way, just use one, but I have 6 candies and 11 heart scales. I just used one for that. Next thing I'm going to be using scales for is I'm going to be changing a nature. I'm going to be changing Hydreigon's nature to timid. This Hydreigon is going to be receiving a lot of investment. It is also going to be getting a 31 in its special defense. Engineers, special defense IV, yes. And lastly, and this is maybe the biggest thing, it needs to remember a move. What move is it relearning? We are teaching Scary Face. And we are teaching Scary Face over Dark Pulse. All right. Next thing I need to invest scales into is I'm changing another nature. Programmer is also becoming timid. I've got a very skittish, scared team. And its speed IV must also be maximized. I will not be commenting on what the Scary Face is for. All right. And the very last scale that I'm going to be using is going to be teaching one more move. It's going to be on Primarina. I am teaching Perish Song. And I'm teaching that over Draining Kiss. It's not needed. I bet you do. All right, that is all of the heart scales we'll be using today. I have 6 rare candies. We are only going to be using 5 of them at this moment. Harlequin perish. Programmer will not be receiving a rare candy at this moment. Hello, Faultier. So yeah, this candy is staying right here. Now, TMs to teach. It's not too many. I need to teach Electro Web. Where is that? Did I pass by? Surely did. There you go. Hey, morning. All right, and this is being taught to Programmer. And I am teaching this over Acrobatics. Yeah, Faultier has been like a pretty large help through my entire run. Also been someone who like I've streamed a lot of the most important fights too on Discord. I think that's the only TM I need to teach, and at this moment at least, and there is one tutor move that I need to get. we're going to be punching. Going to be teaching Ice Punch to Politician over Poison Jab. And I think that should be literally all of the setup we need for this E4 in terms of moves and etc. I do need to burn one Pokemon. That will be very important for one of the fights. Apply status, and we'll be applying burn to Primarina. Perfect. Okay. That's a better layout for me to look at my notes. Okay, that's good. Good. All right. I think I should be about ready to start. Okay. So, for items for this first fight. Sneasler is going to be holding... Are you already holding the right items? Did I go ahead and do that because I'm smart? Life Orb. Yeah. I am smart. That's very good. All right. I believe that's it then. Are we ready to start D4? Beyond this point, only those trainers who have collected all the gym badges are permitted to enter. Trainer, let us confirm that you have all the gym badges. These guys don't check shit. Just a little bit of trivia there. I think the only thing they check for is for if you have Winona's badge, because she's the only one you can possibly skip. Ooh, on the TV. Okay, awesome. Just one more look at the team. Yep. Looks good. Leading Primarina and Sneasler. Yep. All right. Okay. We win or we lose. Hey, Sydney. Welcome, Challenger. I'm Sydney of the Elite Four. Let me explain the rules. You'll face 4 of greatest trainers in the region. To truly test your battling skills, we require a balance of 2 singles and 2 double battles. You're free to choose which members to battle in each style. I like that look you're giving me. I guess it'll give me a good match. That's good, looking real good. So you tell me, what is it going to be? So Sydney, this is going to be pretty classic. Pretty easy cook here. If I'm going to be entirely honest. This is going to be Sydney doubles. All right. Primarina eats an Intim, but Inner Focus prevents the attack drop on Sneasler. So, on turn 1, it doesn't really matter what I do with this Prim because it's going to get fake outed. But then on this same turn, I'm going to be faking out this Articuno. All right, crit. Not needed. Very good. So this is the good thing about having a plus speed prim, is that on turn 2 after you get fake outed, you can encore this Incin. And Sneasler will simply click knock off into Articuno, which outspeeds and KOs. Who needs fling? Are you kidding? So this is Gyarados in, because it's looking at the Sneasler slot, and it thinks that it's the only thing that really out damages, because at the moment it's flying type. So we've dodged another of the, I think, 3 Intims that are on this team, which is just crazy. So Prim is going to swap into Thundurus. And Sneasler is going to rip a close combat into this Gyarados, where we're going to break its knees a little bit. Yeah, it's almost like he doesn't like getting hit by strong fighting moves. So Gyarados just kind of played itself there. So this is going to be the second turn of Incin fake outing uselessly, right? And then on this next turn will be the final turn. And that is the last Intimidate that we are dodging. Which is very, very nice. So we are going to be Volt Switching into the Overquill and close combating the Overquill. We outspeed with both the Mons. If close combat crits the Overquill and kills it, it's still fine for us to be Volt Switching into the Incin. We never kill. So we still get to do our swap out. And we just need this little bit of extra chip, because otherwise it's not a guaranteed kill with close combat into the Overquill. And now we will be going into Choice Scarf, Urshifu. Hello, Phoenix. So Incin is now free to move again. That was the last turn of Encore. And only now does Darkrai come in, because it finally sees a kill with Dark Pulse into Politician. It sees fast KO on Sneasler, because this Darkrai is crazy fast. However, we've got an Urshifu in now. And we can just click Close Combat, because Choice Scarf Urshifu, even Adamant, just outspeeds and KOs. And now finally, this Incin that has stayed on the field is going to be perishing, dying to Close Combat from Politician. All right. So this Urshifu is holding a focus sash. However, it is outsped and one-hit KO'd by both. Yeah, absolutely, the crit mattered. Outsped and KO'd by both of these mons. So it doesn't get to do anything. So I think Politician ends this fight at about 40% HP and like -4 defenses. Very, very cool, good Pokemon. Oh, thank you, Jaguar. That is Sydney down. $20,000. That's pretty nice. Enjoy your next battle. Wonderful. All right. We're going to be doing some rearranging and a little bit of healing. Let's take these items. We're also going to need to make sure that this Prim stays at a pretty exact HP value. Okay, where are my healing items? There we go. So you get a full heal. And on Prim, we want to get as close to 276 as possible. And this is where it's nice to have an Oranberry. Okay, that's as good as we're gonna get. Should be as safe as anything. All right. Speaking of berries, our lead here, I love camera up too. All right, see you, Phoenix. So we have a Lum on Thunderous. On Urshifu, we are giving it Choice Scarf. Oh, I suppose that's the other thing that's a little unique about this E4. It's a 2-scarf E4. I don't think there's been many of those. I think I only saw one. Sneasler gets our very last Roat Berry. Where are you, buddy? There we go. I think I only had 2 the entire run, I believe. I don't think I've used a single Jacoba, but I'm using both Roat. Primarina is getting a plain old citrus berry. This is the berry fight. Engineer is not planning on coming in, but I think the thing that reduces risk the most if I need to steer is a Choppleberry. And Camerupt, again, for steering, I think the best possible thing is just a Rocky Helmet. All right, is there any other prep that I need to do for this fight? Yep, Thunderous at 99. Choice, throw up Citrus, burned, 276. Yep. All right, no, I think that is it. All right. Sydney we go. All right. What fight type do you think we're doing? Phoebe of the Elite Four. I did my training on Mount Pyre. When I trained, I gained the ability to commune with ghost-type Pokemon. Yes, the bond I developed with Pokemon is extremely tight. Speaking of that, your Pokemon took a beating from Sydney, eh? Please heal up. Absolutely not. So, we will be doing Phoebe singles. Shifu may have taken some steroids before this fight, so, you know, maybe I'm going to be brought before the Pokemon courts for that one, but, you know. All right, so against this Crobat, we are going to be clicking Electroweb as it either goes for Hypnosis or Super Fang, I do believe. Acrobatics is never the highest damage, even with Flying Gem bullshit. It will only see Super Fang at worst, so I don't need to worry about crit or anything. But we are going to be using Electroweb, and then we will be outspeeding on the next turn. Hey, that's pretty great. That also opens up some steering opportunities, I do believe. So I suppose I will also mention, this is one of 2 fights in it that I found that has any risk at all. So there's one, and this fight also has what I do believe is the largest risk of this E4. All right, we'll now be Volt switching. We outspeed and always kill. And we will be bringing in the Dragon Warrior, who is Choice Scarf and fucks this entire team up. Like, it's a little awful. All right, so Marshadow is in first. That is actually a bait, which is actually just random, I do believe, because of Lunala's Shadow Shield. It doesn't see Wicked Blow as always critting, so it actually just picks a random roll to decide on whether it comes in or not. So we've actually hit one of the rolls just to decide that it wasn't coming in, but it was actually possible too. So that's like one of the few times that I think it's possible in Run and Bun that like it's random what can come in next, which is really weird. So on this Marshadow, it will always be clicking Close Combat into us for a kill. And this is the biggest risk of the entire E4. If we get double crit on Primarina here, we simply lose. Like, that's it, we just lose. All right, no crit, please. So that is pre-damaged, so that Citrus is always procced that turn. So because we were not crit there, we are always safe. All right. We are now going to be slow flip turning to deal a little bit of chip. Shadow Sneak, yep. Close Combat and Shadow Sneak there are actually overlapping roles, which is interesting. I think just because of being resistant to Close Combat and also Technician. All right. So now this is back into Urshifu. And after the Close Combat defense drop and the little bit of chip, Adamant Close Combat with a Choice Scarf, we outspeed and always kill. We just take a Shadow Sneak here, which is totally fine. Wicked Blow, I should say. All right. Get out of here. We're going to be seeing that animation a lot this fight. I apologize. It was never getting clicked. So look at this Gengar here. Hoping for CC. Alright, well this is very spooky because I don't know what to do about Mega Gengar. That's very scary. But I think we're just going to Wicked Blow into it anyway. Oh my god! Oh, it tricked me. You know what? I think something went wrong. So yeah, this run might need to be discounted for other reasons than the ones that you know. All right, Wicked Blow. Boom. All right, now it's the Lunala in. I think every single one of those times it could have came in, because if I ever like don't see the roll, it could have come in. But I think I just saw the roll on every single one of those, so it just went in order, which is really funny. All right, so this is always Moonblast. So I'm going to be going into my Politician, who has the Roat Berry to take the Moonblast. Why is it Meteor Beam there? Did Meteor Blast not see kill? Because I outspeed. That makes sense. All right, might need to be doing a little bit of steering. Unsure how bad this is. Let's figure this out. At +1, what are you seeing into me? My Sneasler is at 151 HP. What moves are you seeing? You're seeing either Moongeist Beam or Moonblast. It's just a 50-50. Is there anything I can do to fix this? Yeah, this is very spooky. I might just need to risk a 50-50. That might just be what it is. Genuinely. Yeah, so the plan here initially was that this would be coming in on a Moonblast. We would break the Shadow Shield with the Roat Berry. We would then outspeed and knock off into this. And it would still be holding the Power Herb, and we would kill. I do believe that knockoff, when it doesn't have an item, absolutely does not see kill, but I will be checking. Yeah, so this does 272 minimum with knockoff. It has 415 HP, and we dealt an eighth of it. So we would need to crit. Mm. All right. Well, I think the only option I have here is to go back to Urshifu and hope for Moongeist Beam. Which thankfully never kills on a crit. But if it's Moonblast, this E4 run is cooked. It's over. Yeah, I absolutely lose without the bear. 100%. All right. Y'all ready? It's a 50-50. Wish me luck. That's it. Thank goodness. So now, we simply Wicked Blow. We outspeed, and because Shadow Shield is broken, we always kill. Oh, that feels good. Okay, but surely the last one was illusion, so this one's an illusion too, right? This one's not the real Mega Gengar, because if it is, then I'm scared. Especially, like, this is my last Wicked Blow. So that was not supposed to be that risky. That's what I get for not thoroughly looking at Moongeist AI. I thought it was just, if it was looking for like a slow kill, it would never be Meteor Beaming, but I suppose that does overlap, huh, with the slow kill. So the future fights will not be that risky. It was supposed to be at worst a 1 in 256, but very cool, came down to a 50-50. Well, it wasn't quite that risky because it was not guaranteed to Moongeist Beam, I think, but you know. I believe that was like a unfavored 50-50 for that to be what is the one that Meteor Beam, that's what it is. Moongeist Beam, Meteor Beam, blah. Alright. Yeah, exactly. You got it. Alright, let's take all these items away. Alright. So we've had 2 Mons sitting back here that haven't really done anything with this so far, but that's gonna change very soon. Alright. So, the Mons to bring. We're going to be leading Camerupt, holding its Mega Stone. And this is going to be Primarina holding a Room Service. Where is this Room Service? Did I pass it already? There you go. Yeah, it's also quite funny that in my E4 that is bringing 2 choice scarfs, um, just spoilers, I'll be doing Glacia Trick Room doubles. Just how it worked out. So this will be holding a Lumberry. Sneasler will not be appearing in this fight. And Hydreigon will be holding a Yachi Berry. All right, let's heal up. Don't need any specific pre-damage. Yeah. And I don't need to teach any new moves, I don't believe. All right. So this is probably my favorite cook of the Elite Four. Just because it was very exciting when I realized that for this fight and another fight, Camerupt was exactly who I needed. And once I figured that out, that was like the very first thing that I really planned for the C4, was figuring out that Camerupt had to come. And then everything fell into place from there. Just gonna give one final check. Do I need to PP any moves? I mean, I don't need to for this fight, but I might as well just Lepa that Wicked Blow. And I believe you with close combat too. Okay, one final check, and then we'll be heading into Glacia doubles. All right. This is quite stressful, but this fight should be completely riskless. Let's have a good battle. Doubles. Wish me luck. I like this cook a lot. All right, so Seismologist on turn 1 is going to be clicking Eruption. But we will not be Mega Evolving turn 1. It's very important that I don't Mega Evolve. Otherwise, we don't outspeed this Crabominable. And Primarina, as the fastest thing on the field, is going to be flip turning into this Crab to break its Focus Sash. All right. And we'll be swapping in Hydreigon with the Yachi Berry. So that never kills on a crit because of the Aqua Berry. Very important, because we actually need it to set up Trick Room for us. It's going to be doing us a very big favor in this fight. So now this was one of the coolest parts, was figuring out that Yachi Berry Hydreigon brings in Calyrex Ice. Because it's as one sees through our Yachi Berry, and Glacial Lance just murders us. So now, we're going to Mega Evolve, and we're clicking Eruption. And we are going to be hitting from the right to the left, slot 1, then slot 2. So Magearna is going to die. And then, due to the split damage bug, Calyrex Ice is going to be taking full singles damage, which just barely kills. So we're taking a double KO in this turn with Mega Camerupt. So then you might be wondering, okay, well, what is the point of this Hydreigon on the field? It doesn't have a target. Well, there actually is one target left on the field that it can hit. We will be scary facing the Camerupt. Why'd you have to crit? That was such a cool moment because it always killed without a crit. Aww. Scary face. Into the Camerupts. That was as virtuous as it got without the crit. Fair enough. So, this was very important that the Porygon 2 is not coming in here. And that was taking advantage of some very cool stuff where it doesn't see the download boost before it comes in. So looking into both Camerupt and looking into Camerupt, the only thing that's out damage was the Kyurem Black with, I believe it has a ground move. I think it's Earth Power. And then into the Hydreigon, we out damage both of them with Draco Meteor. Barely, very barely. So it's simply for Abomasnow for just Team Order, just because it's faster because it's Drift Groom. Because of Yachi Berry, it doesn't actually see that it out damages us. All right. On this turn, we are going to be clicking Eruption. And with Hydreigon, we will be swapping into Primarina. The reason we're doing this, and the reason I should explain finally why we're scary facing into the Camerupt, is because I am Brave 21 speed IVs, which I believe is 56 speed once you're Mega Camerupt. This Mega Abomasnow is 55 speed. It just underspeeds us, and I couldn't fix it with a nature change or with a scale. You can't lower a speed IV with a scale, right? So I needed to scary face it in order to be slower than this Mega Abomasnow. So I believe the Kyurem is just going to see ground move, I think. No, it sees out damage into Camerupt, but it sees kill exclusively with Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor, one of its dragon moves, into Hydreigon because of the Yachi Berry. It'll never be Icicle Spear. So we kill the Mega Bomb, and we swap to Primarina to take the dragon move. So the Yachi Berry was supremely important there for baiting both Mons coming in and moves from the opponent. And we don't even need to necessarily use it there. So finally, our room service goes off, and we even 31 speed IV, naive Prim, just barely underspeeds this Kyurem Black. So there will be no split damage abuse there. Dealt about 50% the Kyurem. I think that was a pretty high roll. Very cool Draco Meteor there, buddy. And finally, it's the Porygon 2. And the last thing, as you saw there, that I was very, very happy about was when this Porygon 2 came in. If I'll give you a quick look, hello Sour, at these defense stats, this camera basically has equal defense and special defense, so it barely affects the average that is taken between the two mons. So it is primarily determined by the Prim, who obviously has a much higher special defense than defense. Oh, I see, Sour. Thank you. You missed, if you weren't here, you missed terrible miscalculation on my part in my Phoebe singles, but it worked out. It's fine. See all these mons that are still alive? Definitely. Didn't have any risk at all. So in this turn, I will just be clicking Flamethrower into this Porygon 2. And I'll be clicking Moonblast into the Karen Black. So what is actually very unfortunate is that this Porygon 2, even after room service, it underspeeds my Prim, which is why for the entire Elite Four we've needed to be burned, because Blizzard Freeze just ruins this. It's terrible. So we need to be burned to avoid that, and also for tri-attack reasons. It could be, you know, para or something. All right. Just get a little bit of chip on the Porygon. You are going crazy. And we kill the Karen Black before it gets to do anything. It was only supposed to be a bit of chip. So on that turn, we were completely safe. Blizzard, tri-attack, crit could never kill either of my mons, but they are risked on this turn. However, let me just check something very quickly. I might just be able to take a much simpler line that I was planning to because of that very cool crit. Let me just see. I don't know if I can depend on that. Yeah, I think it's close. My Flamethrower does minimum 30% to this Porygon 2. Don't think I need to do anything with that, because this is still, I'm just going to stick to the plan. I would have liked for Campbell to be able to take another KO, but is Erupt still more? Because it's not getting the split, is it? So I would be taking 2, so I'm at 87%. It's only like 2.5% more. I don't think I need to risk that. Just trying to see if that's 32 or 33%, you know. Don't think I need to. So the answer here is just a hard double switch. We will be swapping in Urshifu and Hydreigon, who both live any hit, even if it blizzards, because remember, we've got the Achu Berry on Hydreigon. And in case of tri-attack, any secondary effect, this Urshifu is holding a Lum. So we'll be swapping in Dragon Warrior, and we'll be swapping in Hydreigon. Everyone takes Hail. And for those keeping track, that was the last turn of Trick Room. So we get to hit this duck in the face. I need Camel in. Camel, you need to be here. Witness the downfall of the duck. And that's Glacier Devils. For the longest time, I was figuring out, like, how the hell do I make this camera up slower? I was like thinking, like, does Fling room service work? Is that a thing? But no, obviously not. Wondering if there's anything else I could do until I eventually saw Scary Face on High Dragon. All right. So this is probably the most complicated fight. And there is a little bit of risk in this next fight. Obviously, no, it'll be Drake singles. Okay. So High Dragon will be receiving Choice Scarf. Yeah, absolutely have no idea, Faulty. Faulty helped quite a bit with the end of this Drake fight. Don't need any. Yeah, and this is the fight where it's finally okay to rare candy. Programmer to 100. The reason we didn't earlier was because Electroweb crit on Crobat does 99.6% at level 99. And if we crit high rolled, then we wouldn't be in position with Urshifu. So we couldn't be level 100 for that fight. Alright, High Dragon is getting a Choice Scarf. Urshifu is getting an Eject button. Where is that? There we go. Primarina is receiving a Citrus. Sneasler, this is also very, very cool. Thank you, Faulty. Is receiving. Where is it? Should be somewhere close to here. Never Melt Ice. Thundurus will be using the first Jaboka Berry of the run. Camerupt. For fun, you get a Pasho Berry. Okay, time to do some healing. And I'll do a quick check for PP with Leppa. And we get to heal the burn off Prim finally. We will also be teaching a couple of moves to Prim. First move taught. Ice Beam. I do believe we will be teaching this. You shush. This over Encore. We don't need Encore anymore. Not needed. Next. We'll be using Life Dew. Absolutely. Let me just review this, because this is probably the most complicated thing with the Elite Four is this freaking Pre-Maruna's moveset. Because it's because when you're changing next fight as well, and if I delete the wrong move, I just lose. Hello, Liam. How are you doing? All right, so I do believe that in this position we are teaching Life Dew over Moonblast. Blasting someone with the moon does not seem important to me. That doesn't seem strong. Hello! Thank you, GME HNC, for the follow. Is there anything else that I need to do to prepare for this? Gonna recheck all these items. Choice Scarf, Citrus Berry, Pasho Berry, Eject Button, Never Melt Ice. All right. Heading into the next room. Yeah, who needs... Are you kidding me? You don't need Moonblast against Drake. That's ridiculous. All right. Wish me luck. Last of the Pokemon League, Elite Four, Drake the Dragon Master. In their natural state, Pokemon are wild living things. They are free. At times they hinder us, at times they help us. For us to battle with Pokemon as partners, do you know what it takes? Do you know what is needed? If you don't, then you will never prevail over me. You only got one choice left. Are you going to fight or are you going to run? It doesn't even give me a choice. It lied to me. There's no choice left. I suppose there's healing, but all right, let's do this. Thank you very much, Livia. So this Dragapult is speedy as fuck. However, it is not speedier than timid Choice Scarf Hydreigon. So we get to drop a Draco. Thank you. Reshiram is baited in for slow kill Dragon Pulse. It's guaranteed Dragon Pulse, which is very nice, because that allows us to swap into Prim. I know that's Ethan. All right, Prim comes in to take this Dragon Pulse. Very nice. Okay. We are now going to be clicking Ice Beam. Just raw Ice Beam. Taking Blue Flare, and it misses. Okay, that is excellent. Incredible. That's perfect. There's the slight, I think the slight bit of fiction involved in this fight is now nearly dodged. If this next move is a blue flare, which it's not even guaranteed to be, it could be Earth Power. If it is a blue flare high crit burn, that is the last remaining fiction, I do believe. So we're going to be swapping back into Hydreigon. Blue flare. Okay. No crit. No burn. Perfect. All right. Timid Choice Scarf Draco Meteor with a little bit of Ice Beam chip kills this Reshiram. All right. So I think I calculated the risk about 1 in 1700 to then be risking something on this next Mon. Yeah. So this is now Crawdaunt for guaranteed close combat. If I was low enough, it could be Crabhammer, adaptability Crabhammer. However, this will always be CC. So we are going to be swapping into Programmer the Thunderous to take this CC. So this Crawdaunt is Focus Sash. So we are going to be breaking this Focus Sash with Jaboka Berry. All right. Now, we are going to be Volt Switching. We outspeed, and after the defense drops, even before the defense drops, I think, this Volt Switch just kills. Perfect. Next, we're going to be swapping in Sneasler. And this should be baiting in Zygarde. So Zygarde was probably the most difficult Mon to deal with in this entire fight. I could find ways to kill it, but then not also be safe from the terrifying Mega Salamence in the back. It was so often that they were just back-to-back, and I couldn't deal with them both back-to-back. It was just terrible. I couldn't find a way to set up Tailwind or do anything like that. It was just terrible. However, this is the part that Faulty really helped me with. So, in the calc, Ice Punch with Never Melt Ice on Sneasler just barely does not prevent this Zygarde from coming in. It does like on top roll 99.6%. It's insane. So it's able to come in. But that's the top roll, so it's not a guaranteed kill yet. So what we do is we click Fake Out, get our chip, and we swap into Eject Button Urshifu to take the guaranteed 1,000 arrows. Yep. We take this, we never die to a crit. Hey, there we go. Switch out with the Eject Button, and we head right back into Sneasler, where we get to Fake Out again. And now, Ice Punch should guaranteed kill. So we do prevent Salamence from coming in because we outspeed and we kill with Ice Punch. It doesn't know that it would intim us. So it's the Suicune in now. So now we're going to be hard swapping into Primarina. And this could be a sub, it could be a Scald, it could be a Calm Mind. Actually, don't think it can be a Calm Mind because I probably saw Fast 2 at KO. Unsure. It's completely fine. I'm now going to be clicking Perish Song. And I will now simply be clicking Life Dew. So this is extremely safe, but it also had to be, you know, resilient to the possibility of being like crit blue flare burned by the Reshiram, right? But because that missed, this is extremely safe. And on the last turn of this Perish Song, this Suicune cannot switch out, which it would very much like to do. But because I have Ice Beam, the Salamence cannot come in. It sees itself as possibly dying. So I will be slow flip turning on this turn. Not a single Calm Mind. That is kind of crazy. And we will be going into Engineer. Witness the Suicune's death. And then Salamence is in. And Hydreigon will be taking its third kill of the fight because Timid, Choice Scarf, Draco Meteor outspeeds and one-shots Mega Salamence. And that's Drake. And I do believe that that was the very last fight with any risk at all. Now, I will say, this Wallace fight did have some risk before about 4 days ago, when I realized that there were 2 lines that this fight, that fight could possibly take, and I only calced one of them. So I had to panic cook the other line. But it works. And it should be totally riskless as long as I don't fuck it up. All right. Yes, it was the flip turn. I just forgot that it could flip turn. All right, let's heal everything up. Be leveling everything. Because I had other ideas for the line before I locked it in about like what the lead would be, and like I thought that I could get it to only be liquid. So like a lingering idea that led me to think like, oh, it's just going to be liquidation here. But no, it could always have been flip turn. So then I had to just fix that really quick. All right. So that is another fight where Primarina ended up burned, but there's no way there wasn't going to get burned in that fight. All right. So time for the prep. the lead is going to be Sneasler, and it is going to be holding. Where is it? Fighting Gem. Urshifu is going to be holding the White Herb. Primarina will be holding the Fairy Gem. Thundurus will be holding the Electric Gem. Hydreigon will be holding, should be down here somewhere, the Eject Pack. Yeah. We got everything. We got the gems, we got the belt, we got the pack. Yeah. The Focus Sash. Hard earned. Fought up through 115 for that. All right. So there is two more moves that I believe we need to teach just as contingencies. One is contingency, one is necessary part of the line. One is Rock Smash. We'll be teaching that over Iron Head. So the astute among you may have wondered why I gave a Fairy Gem to the Prim. I deleted Moonblast in the last fight. We're going to be teaching Play Rough. Physical attacking Prim. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. And we'll be teaching over Perish Song. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? PowerPoints, that's important. Just making sure. Is there anything else that's super important that's low? CC? Yep. And anything else? Draco's. Okay. I will not be revealing the Rock Smash purpose. It might not come up. Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty sparse in this game, so you know, you gotta be careful. All right. Very nervous. However, I think it's completely riskless as long as I didn't miss anything like I did in Phoebe. We'll see. But in my head, this is 100% riskless. One final check Fighting Gem, White Herb, Eject Pack, Fairy Gem, Electric Gem, Focus Sash. Got all the necessary moves. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Welcome, Hannah. That incident in Zootopolis City, that was superb work putting an end to that crisis all by yourself. It wouldn't be fair to say that you alone ended the crisis. You overcame that difficult situation by working as one with your Pokemon. We trainers raise Pokemon by giving them items and by teaching them new techniques for battle. Yeah, hell yeah, we did. But we ourselves also learn many things from our Pokemon. And this is where your achievements are put to the test against what others like you have achieved. Now, who can most elegantly dance with their Pokemon in Hoenn? Show me right here and now. Champion Wallace would like to battle. What? That's not fair. I didn't account for that. He got a bunch of tattoos. I'm not sure what to do about that. Alright, well, I think in any case I should always be able to fake out. So this is the very cool thing that I saw. I did not. However, this is not the Life Orb strat, this is Fighting Gem, which always kills. Naughty 29 IV attack. This Sneasler was fucking crazy. Yeah, this is a very naughty politician. Very corrupt. Fitting to be a poison type, you know? So, unfortunately, this is where we'll be saying farewell to the politician. Sour, we were both freaking out. It was so crazy. Alright, so this is Swift Swim in Torrential Downpour. It has like 600 or something speed. This cannot be outsped. We are simply dead, and we are sacking the Sneasler. Liquidation. Alright. We are now going to Hydreigon. We always live a Liquidation crit and a Draco Meteor on Timid Hydreigon always kills. Oh goodness. I did not account for that. That was a 20%. That might have fucked us. I think that's the run. I did not account for the defense drop on Liquidation. I think that's it. So true, sack politician again. Is there any way I can steer this? Let me look for any option that could be possible. Yeah, no T-Wave. Prim absolutely does not 1v1, no. That was also high roll, I do believe. Let me calc that really quick. 315 minus 41 was 174. That was the second highest roll of liquidation. Yeah. Is there anything that I can do about this? Anything at all? I think this might be it, y'all. You know what? There is one out. I do believe there is one out. Yeah. All right. We'll have to go for it. So, we're going to be clicking Sucker Punch. Top roll Sucker Punch crit kills. And there are also rolls of liquidation which do not KO. It's about a 56% chance to kill my Urshifu with a liquidation. So I have high roll crit chances, which is not the realistic out, and then an unfavored 50-50 coin flip to live the liquidation. Wish me luck. No crit. We live. I believe, let me just calc that really quick. That was minus. That was the second lowest roll. We sucker again. All right. I hope this line can be recovered. It should be possible. Maybe. Maybe. It'll depend. It'll depend. Okay. So what does this Palkia see into me right now? The thing is, I'm not sure if I can sack this Urshifu here, because that was the plan for the Hisui Gudra. Palkia favors nothing at the moment. It is all the same to it, besides that it won't be clicking Focus Energy. It could be clicking Draco Meteor, it could be clicking Hydro Pump, or it could be clicking Earth Power. Yes, and then I'd be going into Prim to bait out Manaphy. Or there's another line for flip turn, which would have been better as it happens. Because yeah, I don't think I can be sacking. Let me see. I'm trying to think of what my best odds are, and I've got to kind of plan the entire line here. I'm wondering if it's the safest to go Prim and then try to get into Hydreigon once it can't be Draco. Also on Prim, it could be Focus Energy, which would be quite good. Is there any way I could beat this Gudra Hisui with my remaining Mons? Any at all? I don't think I see it. All right. I think this is what I need to do. I think I'm going to go Prim and hope that this is Draco Meteor or non-crit Earth Power or Hydro Pump. Okay. I will now be flip turning. Do I need this Prim? Is it better to just play rough? I think having the sack would be better. So the risk that I'm basically taking here is that I'm hoping it attacks again and doesn't crit. And I'm going to slow flip turn. And flip turn, when I'm under 33% HP, does 7.4% to this Palkia. The minimum Draco Meteor roll is 87.8%. So if I min roll on this flip turn, then Draco Meteor is a 62% chance to KO. It might be best to just play rough. Get my damage in, sack this Prim. I think so. I think that might be the play. Because that's just a rough range. So what would come in then on Hydreigon at 150, 141 HP? So the Prim was initially supposed to be for baiting in Manaphy. It took a hit, slow flip turned into Thunderous. So it wasn't actually 1v1ing anything. It was just a pivot, and it was going to be the last mon left alive. I'm thinking through my line, and I'm thinking, okay, what can actually be my last Pokemon alive here? Because I think this is winnable. But I've got to play it right. So I don't think it would be you coming in. Yeah, you don't see a kill. So then it would be Manaphy for Ice Beam. It's pretty awful. Though I suppose only if it freezes. You know what? I think that's the play. I click play rough into this. I think this works. I'm gonna be clicking play rough into this Palkia with the Fairy Gem. If it crits, then we just kill. Because there's always the chance of that. So now I believe it's a 50-50 to crit me on the Prim. And at 200 HP, a crit Hydro Pump kills on 68% of rolls. So I'm going to take the chance, because might as well try to flip turn here, because that makes this substantially easier if I live this. No crit, please. It's at a 50-50 to crit, and then... well... all right. We will be going into Engineer. And Choice Scarf, we Draco. Oh goodness. I forgot that I wasn't Choice Scarf on this. Massive misplay. Huge. Alright. I could still possibly win this. It has just become tight again. That's what I get for being tilted. Okay. Dragon Warrior. Should that KO? I think it should, so that should be fine. Okay, so we're going into Dragon Warrior. It's all right. It's the same sort of situation that I thought we were going to win anyway. We just didn't get like the super free win. I think this is still okay. So we're going to Sucker. This should always kill. So this should still always be Manaphy. And we will be going to Programmer. who at level 100 and holding an electric gem will always kill with thunder. The only thing that we are risking here is Ice Beam Freeze. That is it. Ice Beam Freeze, and it's out of 3 random moves. It could be Energy Ball, it could be Scald, it could be Ice Beam. Energy Ball, perfect. The best move. All right. We will be clicking Thunder. And we outspeed because we scaled to Timid Nature and 31 Speed IV. So this is now the Mega Swampert. We're going to be clicking U-turn here, but it doesn't matter. Unless it misses Stone Edge, I suppose, but no, it hits. All right, we are now going to be going to Seismologist. So this is what convinced me to bring the camel. This entire run, I was very, peeved by this thing's nature. Brave, so like it was underspeeding even like enemy Ferrothorns, which really limited its use in battles. It was just really annoying. And plus attack, well, this thing never clicks Earthquake. It's literally just for the fire moves. So it was just a very unfortunate nature. However, for this E4, it was exactly the perfect nature. Because minus speed was necessary for Glacier Doubles, and plus attack is necessary for Explosion to kill this fucking Swampert. And now, the opponent has 1 Pokemon left. Oh my god, I got the funny, faulty bug. That's fucking hilarious. Alright, so, ignore that. I'm still very much not dead. Oh, there we go. Cool. Fixed. So, close combat always kills this Goodra. And that's the game. Fuck yes. Oh, that feels so good. Not realizing, forgetting about the liquidation drop. Oh goodness. That was so fucked. Sacking the Hydreigon for no reason at all. Never clicked Rock Smash though. It's so true. So true. I should have Rock Smashed. Get out of here. No one likes you. That feels very good. And it was also fun to stream. This is my first time streaming, so hope it was okay for all y'all. Into the final room. Yeah, no nerds allowed. Yeah, only me and Wallace, who are definitely not nerds. That feels good. Let's see this. Let's see this Hall of Fame. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Politician the Sneasler. Dragon Warrior the Urshifu. Engineer the Hydreigon. Clown the Primarina. Programmer the Thunderous. And Seismologist the Camerupt. Oh my goodness. There are about 5 different moments in that E4 where I thought that I was like definitely like gonna lose. Four of them were on Wallace. So that was a lot of fun. I've been playing this game for goodness. I don't have a good grasp of time generally, but maybe Faulty or Sour would know. It's been like quite a few months. 5, something like that. 6. I'm unsure. I think this run. So yeah, I took about a 2-week break once I had done all the optionals before like I got really planning my Elite Four, and then once that started, it went by in about 4 or 5 days, I think. Yeah. So that was quite a while ago. Goodness. Oh, I'm seeing some of the goats go by. Gyarados, no! Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. That was really good. I still think... I'm trying to think about what my favorite cooks of the entire run were. I think it was... Glacia's definitely up there. It was very fun to figure that out. That I needed Scary Face, and that my Camerupt was just cracked for it. And the Yachi Berry start with Hydreigon to specifically not baiting the Porygon. That was the other huge part of that fight that took a while to figure out. And then my Juan fight was very fun. That line was very fun to cook. And my Tate and Liza. I did that one on stream and Discord, and I think that was maybe the cleanest cook I did of the entire run. For those in chat who remember that, that was very fun. Counting a billion PP. Credits. The end. So, I still love this game, and I want to keep playing it. So, I think I'm going to be doing New Game Plus. And this time I'm going to be streaming it on Twitch from beginning to end, as long as it takes. I was already thinking that I was going to do that but it was depending on how I felt streaming for the first time. And I like this. This is pretty comfortable. I probably won't be on Facecam for usual streams, but I think I'll enjoy just streaming on Twitch and going through New Game Plus with Piplup. I do believe is going to be my choice. I don't think I can ever be an ape runner. I'm sorry to the ape fans in chat, but I think the slower playstyle suits me. I love Turtwig, who is my goat for this run. But yeah, I want to really try Penguin, see how it's like. I hear the early game, and I've seen it, is quite a bit harder than Turtle, but it's goated in the mid to late game. All right. So yeah, don't think I'll have any schedule for that necessarily. I might come up with one if any of y'all want to be regular viewers or anything for me doing that run. But it might just be when I feel like it, and tune in when you want. I'll need to figure out an overlay probably for that, not just an E4. Have to figure out one how to export this because I still haven't looked that up. How to actually export this VOD of my E4 to YouTube or something. So hopefully I don't just end stream and it disappears forever immediately. That'd be bad. So I don't know if Faulty or Sour or something can help you with that. That would be, oh, okay, well, can I change that setting? Will do. Okay. Unsure where to go. I did not do a recording in OBS, unfortunately. That would also be quite long. Uh, okay, I think it exists. It'll just be deleted in 7 days. So, okay. I'll just need to export it before 7 days are up and that'll be fine. All right. I think that'll be it for me. I said it would be about an hour to 2 hours, I think. We were coming up right on the 2 hour mark in about 20 seconds. So might be saying goodbye to y'all. Thank you very much for the viewership, for the support. uh, thank you for not being too harsh when I just sacked my dragon for no reason. That's dear. Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you another time, hopefully. Bye bye.